So every once in a while, I get an email from a random person somewhere on the internet, usually a junior or senior in high school or someone in college, asking me for some free coaching on email. And I love it. I just love it because it's really helpful for me to stay in tune to what are the students searching for? Like, what answers are they looking for online? Because I want to give you guys what you need. And in this case, it was a senior in high school who's really struggling to understand some of those big prompts that teachers ask her to write essays about in her, I think it was an AP English class. But in this particular case, she asked this question that I actually made a little bit more broad so it would speak to more of you. But her question was, I needed to find out the purpose of the book that I'm reading so I could write an essay about it. But how do you find a purpose? What's the purpose of a novel? Another way to understand that question is, what is the main theme? Like, what do we think that the author was trying to say? What is the meaning behind the book? Or what is the big idea behind the book? And sometimes, even if you've been paying attention in class discussions, or maybe you didn't pay attention, but either way, it's hard. You're sitting down writing and you're like, oh my God, I have no idea what the purpose of this book is. So I wanted to give you all a little trick that I use with my clients. See, here's the deal. When I'm coaching, we have very little time, 50 minutes or less, to help a student push through work on their essay. And so often I have to work with kids to make quick decisions about what a theme or a purpose is when I've never read the book myself. So one of the things that I find valuable is this list. It comes from something called nonviolent communication. It's actually a method for how people can communicate with each other. That's pretty clear in the title of it. But they have a list of what they call universal feelings and needs. Right there it says needs inventory. This is a super exciting website I'm looking at right now because they have this list in lots of different languages. So those international listeners can access this. But I have found over and over, it can be really helpful to look over this list with a student and say, what are the universal needs that are represented by the ways the characters interact with each other in this book? Like, is there a need for acceptance? Is that what's being played out through conflict or through something out? Is there a need to understand and be understood? Or maybe there's a need for equality, or maybe for order. Maybe things are really chaotic, but it's like people are constantly trying to create order and it's really hard. I find that students can pretty easily look through this list of universal needs and find 1, 2, or 3 that they find are really active in this book, and then find concrete evidence that explains why this order or this perhaps mourning is a big deal in this book, why this is a universal need, or how it plays out for the different characters. And then using that list, you can actually write an essay about that. So maybe it's not quite exactly the theme, or maybe it's not quite exactly the purpose, but you can at least say, one of the big things going on in this book is that characters were striving to find blah, 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 or fill the need of blah, blah, blah. And so the author's purpose was to help us understand the universal human need of blah, blah, blah more easily. I hope this helps you when you are feeling stuck about what to write. Because of course you want to write something accurate and thoughtful, but more important, you want to get it done, right? And you want to get it turned in. And so when worse comes to worse, bookmark a page that has the nonviolent communication universal human needs list, or even better, print it out and put it up near your desk, or maybe have a screenshot of it on your phone. And I promise you'll make a lot of breakthroughs in your writing if you just look at this list when you are stuck. Obviously, you can ask me more questions, Gretchen@GretchenWegner.com, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, y'all.